All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I'm glad to see you. All right. I hope you're glad to see me too. Today I'm going to talk about heat illness prevention. But first of all, my name is Travis Sanchez. I'm the statewide coordinator for the Back to Work program, also known as Sergeant Safety. Get safe. All right. So, hey, today it's hot. It's really hot out there. We're going to be hitting 95. Pretty soon we're going to be hitting 100. Some places are going to be hitting that 105 and above. All right. California, we get hot. We stay hot. So we need to beat that heat. So today I'm going to talk about how to beat the heat, right? It all starts with prior preparation. 5 P's. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. All right, this is how we could beat the heat right off the bat is being prepared. All right, and that's all in life. 5 P's. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. Remember that. And when I'm telling you to prepare for yourself, that means drink water. Come to work hydrated. Come to work ready to go. Come to work ready to work and be safe. All right. And the main thing to do that is hydration. Okay. So you come to work hydrated, you'll be good to go. But hey, we may fall through the loops. We may slip through the cracks. We may end up on our backs. So hey, we got to make sure that we're out there safe. So today, I'm talking about heat illness, like I said, and it's all about you being prepared for the future. Not only coming to work hydrated is prior preparation, but having these types of trainings and the knowledge necessary to protect yourself, those of your coworkers and or employees. Okay, so today I'm going to talk just a little bit about heat illness prevention. What is heat illness prevention? It's a serious medical condition resulting from the body's inability to cope with a particular heat load. And this includes heat cramps, heat exhaustion, heat syncope, and heat stroke. And you don't want that. All right, but in Cal OSHA, we got, they require 4 things right here. So they require training. So training, so you're prepared and know what to expect while you're working in the heat. All right, to know that you need to come prepared to work hydrated. And if you don't come to work hydrated, you're going to fall out. And you probably may go to the emergency room. Who knows? You may not even come back to work. So that's huge to be prior prepared. All right, so that training is necessary so we all get that knowledge. Okay, so hey, water. Again, I've already said be hydrated, but not only come to work hydrated, stay hydrated. That means consume that water regularly at work. How much water? 1 quart per hour per employee. Now, that means for you organizations, you need to have 1 quart per hour per employee readily available. And if you don't, you need to go get those jugs and get readily available so you have that on hand. And if you're working a long mission, a long work order, you're going to have to, if you don't have enough water to have on hand or in those jugs, you have to have that ability to replenish that water. So on the break time, go replenish it. 1 quart per hour per employee. And you must, as supervisors, encourage that water consumption. Why? Because Sergeant Safety says so. All right. Hey, so 80 degrees, hey, access to shade must be provided, right? If I'm feeling any symptoms of heat illness, I need to be able to have that break. I need to be able to decompress my body. I want to cool off, okay? So at least allow every employee 5-minute break in the shade, especially when they're feeling symptoms, and do not order them back to work until those symptoms are abated. All right, so the last thing I wanted to do is just take a 5-minute break and not do nothing, and I'm still feeling all dizzy. I go back to work and I fall out on the highway. That is not safe. So let's be safe. Let's make sure we communicate. Communication is key. You got to communicate with your employees. Employees, you have to communicate with your supervisors. I do not know how you feel. You know how you feel. Let me know. All right, so I can help you. All right, so, and then planning. The organizations need to have an injury illness prevention plan, and in that injury illness prevention plan, you need a plan to help prevent heat illness. Training, knowledge, preparation. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. So let's prepare and perform highly. All right, so moving on a little bit. Cal OSHA requires a couple things. At 80 degrees or higher, we need to be able to provide that shade. It can be shade that is improvised shade, because I know in a lot of the operations that we work on the highway, we do not have access to shade, right? It's all sun out there. So that AC needs to be pumping, needs to have that AC going. And I would encourage you to rotate through the brake system. Get an individual in there, have them take 5 minutes. Now get somebody else in there, get them 5 minutes. It's okay. We need, if we're worried about production, that means we're cutting corners and we're jeopardizing our safety. So do not cut corners. We need to be safe. We need to be prepared, and we need to be able to provide that access to shade to all employees. All right. And remember, shade must be permitted at all times. At all times. Okay. And then any employees on break. So if I have the whole crew on break, if I have everybody on break, I have to have enough shade to accommodate them all. That's why it's really beneficial when I have that rotating brake system. Yeah, I may not be able to smoke and joke with my buddies, but I will be able to accommodate enough people on the break comfortably, right? And then that goes for meal periods as well. So access to shade when your employees are on their break in that shade. Encourage employees to take that cool down, right? And then you're going to have to monitor them. Look at their eyes. Your eyes say a lot. Look at their skin. Look how their sweat goes. Talk to them. Communicate. Communication is key. All right. Communication is key. That goes both ways, up and down the chain of command. Communicate. All right. So now, ask your employees if you're experiencing any symptoms of heat illness. I'll talk about some of those symptoms later on, so you all know. But hey, communicate. Communication. All right. Don't order them back until work, like I said, until those symptoms are abated, and give them at least a 5-minute rest in the van. And the AC, right? And in the shade, let's say they're in the shade. Could be a shaded area, right? But most likely, we're taking our shaded breaks and improvised shade, which is the van. All right, now, if emergency services are needed, take appropriate response. You'll know I'll talk about some responses to go through, but hey, really evaluate the situation. If you feel in good faith that the emergency services need to be called, don't hesitate. You may save somebody's life. All right. And then also, employees, do not wait until the end of the day to say, hey, man, I was dizzy all day. I almost fainted. You know, that doesn't do nothing for me at the end of the day, except for make me go fill out some paperwork and me feel like I wasn't truly protecting you. So, hey, communications both ways. That goes from you to me to you, all around. Okay. Teamwork makes the dream work. We'll talk about that stuff a little bit later in a different video. All right. So now that was 80 degrees. Shade must be permitted, right? Now 95 degrees and hotter. Hey, there's more laws in place because hey, it's hot. It is hot. So got to have a mandatory buddy system. All right, eyes on your buddy. Battle buddy goes everywhere with you. All right. So yeah, we got to practice our social distancing right now, but hey, I got to have a battle buddy. Mandatory buddy system. Hey, you got 8 of them on the crew. With these social distancing crews, you may have 2 to 4. But if it's 95 or hotter, that's your battle buddy for the day. All right, and communicate. I've been talking about this communication most of this video. So hey, remember, communication not only goes from the top down, it goes from the bottom up. That's the only way good communication works, is if everybody's communicating both channels, up and down the channel. All right. And then so usually it's a supervisor that calls 911 services, but just in case it is that supervisor that needs that emergency services, a driver, wingman, whatever you want to call it, the lead crew member of the day, you may have to call that emergency service for that supervisor if they're the ones under the heat illness. All right. So now, giving frequent water reminders to drink water. I want you to drink water. I need you to drink water so you stay safe. I need you to consume at least 1 quart per hour. You, not me. I'm over here drinking my quarts per hour. I'm drinking this right here. All right. I'm staying hydrated, but I need you to drink 1 quart per hour. All right. And how many quarts are in a gallon? Does anybody know? Not one, not two, not three, but four. 4 quarts in a gallon. That means in 4 hours of you working out in that field, you better drink a milk carton of water. Why? Because Sergeant Safety said so. All right. So make sure you do drink that water. Gatorade and soda and sugary drinks, they're not going to help you out. Now, the Gatorade can be added on to your water consumption, but not in place of your water consumption. You still need to drink that 1 quart per hour, and then you could add on a Gatorade or two or a salty snack to help retain that water that you just drank. All right, because Gatorade is not going to hydrate you. Just heads up on that for you Powerade, Gatorade drinkers, especially you energy drink drinkers. That's going to dehydrate you. All right. So, and this is mandatory in California. If I'm going to work in a situation that's 95 degrees or hotter, I need to have a tailgate. Supervisors, protect your employees, prepare them. Prior preparation prevents poor performance, so prepare your employees and have that pre-shift meeting, letting them know it's going to be hot today. Communicate with me. I'm going to tell you to drink 1 quart per hour. You better drink that 1 quart per hour. Not only because I'm saying it, because Sergeant Safety said so. All right. So acclimization. So what is acclimization, right? This is getting your body used to the environment that you're working in. It says a temporary adaptation of the body to work in the heat that occurs gradually when a person is exposed to it. And I always say it takes about 2 weeks. All right. It says 4 to 14 days, but hey, give 2 weeks. 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks back in the field. Hey, we've been in this quarantine, this quarantine stuff. AC's pumping, nice, chill back, not sweating really, not working the shovel, not working the picker, not working the stringer. We did not going up and down them hills. We just been chilling in the living room, having to deal with the family, chase after the kids, hide from the family, get some silent time. Who knows what it is what you've been doing, but I know for sure you haven't been working in this heat, right? So we need to make sure that we protect ourselves because and acclimatize ourselves to the environment so our body can be used to this heat. We almost had somebody fall out the other day. They didn't communicate, right? So the main thing is just, hey, we're not acclimatized. Not even the supervisors, not me, none of us. We've been in the house in the AC, like I've been saying. So this first 2 weeks, supervisors, increase those breaks. I don't care if they've been working a half hour and then you need a break. Start rotating them. Rotate. Give one person. You got 8 people. Get them 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Rotate that in. Make sure you drink that water. 1 quart per hour. Oh, but I don't want to. I got this soda. No. Drink that 1 quart per hour. All right. So, hey, one thing to do is pay attention to these new employees. People just back from being sick. Anyone absent from work more than a week. That's you. That's me. That's all of us. Right? People who have just moved from colder climates, we all been in the AC. It's a lot cooler than out there in the heat. All right, so everybody during heat waves. And guess what? It is hot. So be prepared to beat the heat. So a couple things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about a heat rash. I'm going to talk about heat syncope. I'm going to talk about heat exhaustion and then heat stroke. But I'm going to give you the causes. I'm going to give you some symptoms. I'm going to give you some treatments and ways to deal with that situation if you come into it. All right. Heat rash. So by the book, some causes say occurs in hot humidity areas where sweat is not easily removed. Right. And the skin remains wet. So what happens? Your sweat ducts become clogged, rash soon appears, and then sometimes if complications arise, it does get infected. Take care of it. Wash yourself. Take your breaks in your shade, regular bathe. And one thing that is huge, Gold Bond, some powder up, I got these big thighs, they rash it up all together. It's more friction than the heat rash, but Gold Bond does help. All right, but make sure that because it helps it get stay dry, right? So treatment, just make sure that you're taking your rest, drinking your water, and bathing regularly. Heat syncope. All right, it's just a fancy word for fainting. All right, dizziness, fainting. Why? Because the blood pressure is lowered when it goes to your head, right? When the heat is radiant heat, with so much heat, water is evaporated from the blood, reducing the blood's volume and therefore lowering the blood pressure. The result is less blood to the brain, which causes lightheadedness, dizziness, and oh, I'm getting worried. I'm gonna faint pretty soon. So hey, so symptoms, these are some of the symptoms to watch out for. Dizziness, if I'm feeling dizziness, lightheadedness, weakness, or if I'm only seeing, like, I can't see out of my peripherals and I'm just seeing tunnel vision, I'm kind of stuck in my own realm. I may lose consciousness, decreased weak pulse. My skin may be pale, right? Like really white, like a ghost, really pale. Who knows what happens? But if I'm feeling anything like that, if I see somebody feeling like that, I need to make sure I give them to the shaded area, get them some water, and give them that 5-minute break in the shade. And if symptoms are not abated, then I may need to take emergency services. I need to take it up a little bit, right? So some treatment, again, increase a little fluid, right? How much fluid? We need to drink that 1 quart per hour. All right, move to a shaded place, cool place. Like I said, get medical attention if the symptoms do persist. All right. Heat exhaustion. Now, heat exhaustion. Ooh, you're gonna be hurting. You are gonna start to hurt. So this is something you don't want to get to that point. And if you leave it untreated, it will lead into heat stroke, and heat stroke is usually fatal. So heat exhaustion. So the causes of the loss of the body fluids. So you're sweating, right? Important salts due to overexposure to high temperatures and humidity. Usually one is exposed to heat for a prolonged amount of time and becomes dehydrated. If I'm not coming to work prepared and if I'm not drinking my 1 quart per hour, I'm going to end up sweating my butt off and becoming dehydrated. Now, this is not saying that people that do not drink, that do drink all that stuff, that water, they can still be susceptible to heat exhaustion. But if you're steadily preparing yourself and staying healthy and staying hydrated, you should be okay and not get to this point. As long as you're hydrated, come to work hydrated, drinking your 1 quart per hour, and you're taking your rest in your shade. 5 minutes, not smoking and joking in the sun. You want to be in the shade, relaxing, cooling down, letting your body decompress, all right, and drinking that water. So, hey, so some symptoms. I got headaches, nausea, dizziness, skin is cool and pale. Pupils become dilated. Your eyes tell you a lot. Supervisor, watch your guys' eyes, all right? So, and hey, employees, coworkers, watch each other's eyes. When you're looking at somebody and you're talking to somebody, get the eye contact, all right? So pupils in the eyes become dilated. That means the black in the eyes become pretty big, all right? So the victim is usually conscious but may faint and has a core temperature of 102. Hey, that's hot. You're starting to cook inside. So the only way to treat this, call 911. Get emergency services to you right away. Move that victim to a shaded area. Cool them off. Hey, release some of the PPEs, loosen them up, some of the clothes. Put cold towels or ice packs under the hot spots, the pits, the groin, behind the neck, the ears, the forehead, right? Fan them off. Elevate the legs, kick them up, get them up above the heart, so when they're laying down, so they can start relax and treat this guy good, all right? And then, like I said earlier, if left untreated, it will lead into heat stroke, and heat stroke is usually fatal, all right? This is the last straw. So this is where we do not want to go. Causes of heat stroke. is a medical emergency, of course. It's a life-threatening condition. Like I've been saying, it's the failure of your heat regulating mechanisms of the body due to high heat and humidity. Really? You sweated so much. You've worked so hard. You didn't bring enough fluids in you, and you don't have no fluids to release. All right? And all that water, all your blood is going to be going to your largest organ, which is your skin. All right? And it's going to leave all your other organs unattended. And then you don't even have no water. Your blood's all pushed up to your skin trying to push out that water, and there ain't no water to push out. And your other organs are failing because the blood's all the way on your largest organ, your skin, and then you're going to fall out and most likely die. This is where I do not want you. All right, so some symptoms to watch out for: headache, nausea, dizziness, skin is red and dry and very hot. You have no more sweat, like I've been saying. Your blood went to your largest organ, pushed all your sweat out already, and now you're just pushing out and leaving pushing out nothing and leaving your other organs unattended. All right, your pulse is very, very rapid and strong, right? And now, guess what? Those dilated pupils now became into pinpoint pupils. Eyes tell you a lot. Pinpoint pupils, you're about to fall out. You're about to go. This is not where I want you. You have a high fever, maybe at 105 degrees, right? That 105 degrees, woo-wee, your body's cooking inside. Now, I don't know about you, but not from heat exhaustion, but from malaria. I caught malaria in Africa in 2003, all right? My body was at 104.3 temperature. I was internally cooking, so much pain. I was just cooking inside. My body is still pays for that today. 2003, 104.3 malaria. Ended up losing in 2 weeks. I lost 45 pounds. That 104.3 was hot, and I felt miserable. At 105, man, you're gonna feel terrible. I wish you wish you the best. Don't get to that, please. Do not get to that. Remember, prepare yourself. You may lose conscious, and yeah, you may go into convulsions. And again, similar to heat exhaustion, the treatment, call 911 right away, let them know where you're at, get them to the victim, move the victim to the shaded area, elevate those legs, fan them off, loosen up the PPEs, provide lukewarm water. Do not shock them with the cold water. Tempered water would be good, sips, at this time. Elevate those legs, fan them off, do them good, man. Treat them good, because hopefully this may be the last time you may see them. For real. I don't want to say it, but hey, if they don't get to the emergency services right away and they don't get to take care of him right away, even if they do, he could fall out really quick, really fast. So, hey, we want to protect ourselves. We want to protect our employees. We want to protect each other, our coworkers. Teamwork makes the dream work. You need to make sure you're coming to work prepared. All right, so checklist, just to make sure that we all can beat the heat, right? It says supervisor checklist, but it's for everybody. I want you to be a supervisor someday and lead a crew. I want you to lead some people, and knowledge is key. Knowledge is the key to life, right? So, hey, passing it on to you. Make sure you have training. Training is preparation, right? And the whole thing I've been talking about today is preparation. Know what type of temperature you're getting yourself into. 80 degrees, I have to provide shade, right? Mandatory, no matter what, 5 minutes until symptoms are abated. At 95 degrees, I have to have that tailgate. I have to have my battle buddy. I have to have regular communication. I have to constantly be communicating with you and visually see if you have any of those symptoms that we just went over, all right? Know who your unacclimatized employees are. And right now, like I said, us coming right back into the field, that's all of us, even you supervisors. Every single one of us need to acclimatize, so make sure we all prepare, take those breaks, be flexible. It's okay. If you're worried about production, you're going to damage your worker. Production cuts corners, and that's when you're jeopardizing safety. So don't jeopardize safety, all right? Now, when we got the heavy workloads and light workloads, it's good to switch those off. Make sure you have that rotating basis. Maybe I'm working the axe right now. I'm going to town. Bam. bam, working that ass, taking out that stump, whatever it is, because I only can use hand tools, right? So I'm taking out that tree stump, whatever it is I'm working on, and that's hard work. And guess what? My buddy right over here, Joey, you know, I'm talking to you, Joey. Uh, he's over here. He's going to be working that picker. He's gonna be working the picker, nice and easy, picking up that trash. Yeah, it is hard, but it ain't like that axe. Hey, Joey, get your butt over here. Let's switch off, trade out those workloads, right? Let's rotate every 20 minutes, whatever it is. I do the easy work, you do the hard work, and then I do the hard work, you do the easy work. Why? Because teamwork makes the dream work. All right. PPEs. Now there is some types of PPEs that help cool those neck shades. Those are that hook up to your hard hat. Love, because you're not getting burned up and you're not having direct contact to your skin. Also, I like the long sleeves just because it protects my skin from the sun as well. Camel packs, they're not PPEs, these are just tools, right? So camel packs, on-demand water. There's ergonomic head beads that you could wrap around your head and get it wet, cool it off, and keeps your forehead cool. There's different PPEs out there that can help protect yourself. All right, and provide water. So organizations provide enough water on hand to fulfill that 1 quart per hour per employee and have the ability to replenish that water if you can't carry enough on hand for the full day. Now, employees and supervisors drink that water. Supervisors encourage them to drink that water. 1 quart per hour per employee. Hey, you know what? Cal OSHA came out to one of the sites one time, and the supervisor said, "Hey, I got this guy. He does nothing but drink 2-liter sodas every day. I tell him to drink water. I tell him, and he don't listen. He just drinks these 2-liter sodas all day, and I'm afraid he's gonna fall out." You know what Cal OSHA told that guy, that supervisor? He said, "Guess what? That employee does not need to work. If you don't want to work, don't drink that water." Supervisors, make sure you encourage that water. If they don't want to work, okay, well, I can't protect you if you're not drinking your water, so I need to send you home so I can protect you. Remember, you got to protect those employees. All right. Rest periods. Be flexible. Encourage more breaks. Rotate those breaks. Production is not number one right now. Safety is number one. Safety is number one. So continue those breaks. Higher frequency of breaks, especially while we acclimatize. All right. Access to shade must be permitted. Allow at least 5-minute break in the shade, and then do not order back into work until those symptoms are abated, are gone, eliminated. And if they don't eliminate, then you may need to get to emergency services. All right. Bam. Know your emergency procedures. It's all about that preparation, just like I've been talking about. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. Hey, and then there's this too. PPP equals PPP. Piss poor preparation equals piss poor performance. And I do not want you to perform poorly. All right. So make sure we practice the 5 Ps. Prior preparation prevents poor performance. All right. Well, it is hot out there. I need you guys to go beat that heat. You need to be protecting yourself. So thank you for your time. Let's go beat the heat. Sergeant Safety out.